Josh, frustrating for everybody when the game last weekend was called off. But from here on in, it's a really hectic schedule, isn't it? 3 games in 6 days over the holiday period.
Yeah, it's always a tricky period in the league in the season. So you've got to prepare well. Obviously, look after yourself over Christmas, so you're available to play in all the games.
It's been a really frustrating time of late, hasn't it? You know, searching for victories, just lots of draws, a few defeats thrown in there. And at times like this, how difficult is it for players to sort of try and find that little bit of extra, the X factor that makes a difference and get you a victory?
I think anytime a team's in a kind of a state like this, it's always tough. It's always tough losing games. But I don't think we're not miles away. All we need is to be a bit more clinical in front of goal, and then I think that will take care of itself. We've had a very good week so far training, so I think it could start on Boxing Day.
Yeah, you say you're not that far away, and that's the truth because you're only 6 points away from the playoff positions, and we know in this sort of period where games are so close together, so much can change over the holiday period.
Yeah, it's a very important period for a lot of teams, especially us now. We've still got it within our hands. So we'll be going out there to obviously pick up as many points as possible to take us into the new year, and obviously we'll go from there and we'll see.
Tranmere traditionally under Mickey Mellon in particular, much stronger in the second half of the season, and I know that it's more than a half left. So that sort of if you can get a couple of wins, the platform is there for you.
Yeah, I think especially from some of the games that we maybe feel like we probably could have picked points up from. I think that's just obviously it's going to fuel our fire for the second half of the season, and everyone knows we're going to go and attack it and see what happens from there. So yeah.
It's the goals that change games, and everybody thinks it's all about the strikers. And you're a professional football. It's not all about the strikers. It's about everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, sort of plays their part in the whole team process of creating chances for the striker. And you, as a really creative fullback, are a big part of that yourself.
Yeah, it's a collective. When we go into games, obviously everyone wants to be involved in kind of creating something for someone or setting up a goal scoring chance. So I think that's what kind of helps us. We've got a lot of people who want to be involved, who want to go and create chances for people. And it's just about trying to make them chances so people have the opportunity to try and get us a goal.
I mean, you've been a footballer for long enough to know just how important confidence is. And when the winds are flowing and you're in good form, the confidence is a given. I don't think anybody knows where it goes when you're not winning matches, but things just sort of change. And I think, players are more likely to play the safer option, less likely to express themselves. And sometimes it only needs one incident in one game to change all that.
Yeah, it does. I think, obviously, when we went on the run earlier on in the season, it was kind of probably anyone in the team would say we were just going out there and just expressing ourselves. Obviously, it changes when things ain't going your way. But I think that's where in football, you've got to be mentally tough and know like at some stage you are going to get your opportunity to go and be that deal breaker and change something for the game or even for the season in terms of winning a game that you might be odds off not to win. So I think everyone's ready to grasp that chance, especially after our recent form. We've been waiting for it, and hopefully it comes Boxing Day.
And Mickey's such a positive guy, isn't he? I mean, I've never seen him on the training field. You see him every day. He knows his football. He knows how he wants Tranmere to play in terms of individually and collectively. And you get the feeling that with Mickey, he has the capacity to draw the best out of you.
Yeah, definitely. I think since I came last season, and then coming into this season, I feel like I've improved a lot already, just from the start of the season. And like so with a lot of the players that I brought in, you can already see that they're improving. And I think as a team, we're kind of moulding now to kind of adapt even more to how he wants us to play. getting us all to try and work harder for each other, work hard in the game. And I think sometimes that can be the problem in some games. But I think over the second half of the season, I think you'll see a big change in how we play and our tempo in the games. So I think we'll work a lot harder. I think a lot of people will improve throughout this second part of the season, and hopefully we start seeing the goals flood in and some good football.
Because hard work it's not only a collective thing.
No.
If you're a player and things haven't been going so well, but you see your colleagues, your teammates on the field, stretching every sinew, every muscle, running as hard as it catches fire, doesn't it?
Yeah. That kind of stuff rubs off. And I think I try and do that to rub off on the teammates and try and give everyone that little extra percent to go, right, he's on it with me, so I'll work hard. And I think that's a big thing. And I think when your team's winning and stuff like that, that's just, you don't even think about stuff like that. I think
it's second nature.
It's just there. And I think when you are going for a tough time, you're not picking up results and it's not going your way, you kind of do need to tell each other. And that's why I think we're trying to build a lot more confidence with each other to talk to each other on the pitch. And if someone needs to be dug out a little bit and say, like, come on, you need to pull your weight, then we can do that. And there's no hard feelings on the pitch. It's sort it out in the changing room after I'm friends again. So I think that's a big part of what we're going to bring into the team for the second part of the season.
Yeah, you're right in what you say. You have to be man enough to take stick from the guys that you train with, the guys that you play with. Sometimes, well, you never want to hear it, but it's only being said for the betterment of the team. Yeah,
I think everyone in this team knows that. I think sometimes in the heat of the moment, it can get a bit, but once it's done and the game's over, you kind of forget about it. You say, yeah, we're good. And you get on with it. You're only doing it to help your teammate, help the team to win games. So I don't think anyone thinks it's anything personal. Yeah. No.
Prenton Park, Boxing Day, there have been some fabulous occasions, and through thick and thin, and there's been a bit of thin lately.
Yep.
The Tranmere fans are right behind you, the Super White Army.
Yeah, they always are, and we always thank them for their support and bearing with us, especially in the tough times away. Because it's never nice to go away and you see your fans travel and you've lost or you haven't probably won the game when you should have won the game. It's always hard to take. But we do thank them for their support and we hope they stay with us throughout this second part of the season.
Yeah, a win on Boxing Day could mean lift off, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes all it takes is one win. So then you go and you don't hold back. You forget about the first half of the season and then to hold your oyster. So hopefully we can do that, get the win on Boxing Day and then one step in front of the other.
Can I just ask you about one of your former teammates that everybody's talking about now, Jude Bellingham?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you played when he made his debut, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, at Portsmouth, I think. Yeah, in the
League Cup.
He's unbelievable. He will go on to be one of the best midfielders in England, definitely. And for the national team, I think he'll be the captain in a good couple of years. He's got all the qualities to be. He's a leader, he's strong, he can do everything on the pitch. So yeah, it was scary seeing him at 16, and you wouldn't even think he was 16. You think he'd be playing for years.
Could you tell, even before he made his debut, did everybody know at Birmingham that Jude Bellingham, just watch and wait? Yeah,
there was a lot of people that knew he was gonna come into the game and do something special. I think watching him in younger ages, you always get the kids at younger ages who stand out above the others. And it's always a difference when you see them go and train with the first team, then you can kind of judge them and see what they've got. And I trained with him at 15 and I was thinking, oh, wow, he's scary. Like, how are you that good at 15?